So this is a youthful predator, a young member of their race, one of their teenagers perhaps. How many ways do you think they'll be able to find to avoid the phrase child predator? Dantrachtenberg, I'm convinced, would probably sell his own children to have a real-life Yacha son. Like, if you introduce this man to Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm convinced his heart would just give out. He must love this franchise so freaking hard. His first film in this franchise came out 3 years ago, and as of this moment, he has released 3 films in this franchise. How is that? What? Badlands stars Elle Fanning taking part in the year of dual roles. What is happening with that this year, for real? So many people doing dual roles anyway. And also, God, here we go. Dimitrius Schuster-Koloamatangi, who, by the way, also plays dual roles. Yeah, both leads play multiple roles. Many of the other characters are CGI. This was probably the single shortest cast list for a blockbuster film I've ever seen. Anyway, so Dek is a predator, or Yacha. You just know that Dan Trachtenberg was that kid reading all the Predator franchise tie-in novels and going and telling his parents all this information about Yacha that they just didn't care about, dreaming that one day he could make that term more well-known to people just watching the films. Anyway, Dek is cast out from his clan for being a runt, but this short king's going to go for a big slam dunk when he goes to an unkillable creature hunt on the most dangerous planet in the universe. And also the Weyland-Yutani Corporation is there, and he meets a synth who helps him out. By the way, them being there makes this just by default pretty much the best Alien Predator tie-in film. The others are real bad. So these two team up to hunt the creature. There's other synths from the corporation on the way. It's a lovely little setup, you know? A bit more complicated and busy than Prey, because that was such a simple idea. This is them getting back to the, okay, that was a fun little standalone idea, Dan, but how is this franchise getting back into making money? Just blood-curdling amounts of money. So they're definitely back on that train, but they're having a fun ride as they go through it. Dek is a great character. I would not mind if we do franchise him up a bit and have a few films with him, because honestly it works, and it was an idea I was a little bit worried about going in having him as the protagonist, but it works. Elle Fanning is also just great. I think she's so good for this role. She is fantastic as Thea. She's also great as Tessa. This is clearly a shift for the franchise. It's a 12 or PG-13 certificate, and that's kind of weird. Big scary predator monster kills many androids. Not ever, humans or anything. There's no blood. Well, no red blood in this film. There's no gore. It is noticeable, I'll say that. It didn't really bother me too much, you know, it's fine. But it was somewhat noticeable, the fact that they toned down gore so much, and a lot of the action scenes, I wouldn't say it fucks them up by doing that, but it does maybe detract a little bit of something at times when you feel like there should be something more there, and it's just, you can't even in every scene as you watch it put your finger on what's wrong with it, but you can sense there's a little something there anyway. I did feel the absence of that, but also something about them just bringing it down to a 12 made me think, because they tried so hard and so obviously with The Predator to go for this kind of more modern blockbuster appeal, and they made that feel just like a Marvel movie, but an R-rated one. This doesn't lose as much of its sense of self, even bringing it down to a PG-13 certificate, as that did staying at an R rating. That really felt... To be fair, I'm saying that this isn't much like a Marvel movie, but this cast of characters is very clearly Guardians of the Galaxy coded. You know, going in despite knowing that Trachtenberg is on a roll, I was a little worried about this one. I didn't love the idea of the Predator as the protagonist. I think that what they've done with it, the direction the franchise is generally going, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It works better having a Yacha as the protagonist. I still don't think it's perfect for me. I feel like they just work so well as the antagonists. It's tricky, and it's a personal preference thing. It is a shift in the franchise that's as seismic as when they first went, oh, what if Godzilla wasn't actually the evil creature? And that was groundbreaking. That was huge. And maybe this will be too in the long run. I feel like this is a very strong film. It is, you know, with the Alien and Predator franchises, I feel like you generally either get something great or trash. And this is not trash. I can say that definitively. This is a really interesting watch. It's a really rewatchable sort of film. I think, for me personally, I could put it as the third best Predator film. I still don't think it's quite as good as Prey, and it's not as good as the original Predator for me. I think sixth overall, if you're talking Alien and Predator films. I think I've got a pretty clear top 5 there, but this is right below it. This is a strong watch, and I really did enjoy it. I enjoy a lot about the writing. I think it very nearly slips into kind of overly cheesy American blockbuster territory at times and never quite gets there. It holds itself back enough, and I really appreciate it for that, and I think this is the kind of sci-fi film we want to see more of. And we have been getting more of recently. We're getting there. So I'm giving that opening on Yautja Prime really made me think I was watching June again. 4 stars. But he's not. Is he a child? I made it the child predator joke, but like the whole joke is like he's a runt. Is he fully grown? It's never been clear to me. Yeah.